Okay, so this is a quick interview. I said 5 to 10 minutes interview with Mark Pallen, who's just been in Gambia to lead the climb training workshop for bioinformaticians and students at MRCG. So, Mark, I've got 5 questions, and you can take his. We only got. So, actually, if you can tell me what does climb means to you?
Well, CLIMB is an MRC funded project. It stands for Cloud Infrastructure for Microbial Bioinformatics. And it's a project which we aim to provide a cloud computing platform for the UK medical microbiology research community. And the goal is that instead of everyone working in silos on their own, trying to build their own pipelines, get their own servers working, do their own systems administration, we can take a lot of that burden away from them, and we will provide them with virtual machines that they can use on demand, that come pre-configured with some of the software that they're likely to want to use. And we also encourage people to share their software and share data in an easy fashion. And part of what we're also doing, as well as providing the infrastructure, is we're providing training through workshops like this to try and get the message out that people can use CLIMB and people can do bioinformatics.
Okay, actually, that's really that leads to my second question: is that why did you think it was important to do a climb workshop in the Gambia?
Well, we're doing CLIMB workshops in various sites in the UK, but also overseas, particularly in the Gambia, because we're an MRC funded project. This is an MRC funded unit. It kind of made sense to add value to your activities by bringing our capacity to the Gambia. Obviously, we know people here as well, and we get a warm welcome, so that makes a difference as well. And also because we know that you are building your own sequencing capacity, and so these things are becoming more and more in the fore of what you're doing, and the forefront, and you need, if you generate the data, you need to be able to analyze it as well. So we're helping people with that.
That's a great one. Actually, also to go into that, how do you think the training has gone for you and your team? If you've had some time to reevaluate what you what's going on.
I think everyone's very happy. The team seem to be very pleased with the enthusiasm of the people working. The fact that the people want to stay after the end of each day and keep working, and we have to tell them to go home. That's a sign that we're actually doing something good, and there's a demand for this. And my initial communications with Lisa about the feedback we've been getting is that people seem to be very happy. So we come away feeling like we've done a job well done, and it's rewarding as well.
It's very good. In some way, when you run a training and it's in isolation, what do you think? How would you judge that this training has actually worked? If you were looking at what it's achieved.
Well, yeah, that's a difficult one. You often have a very intensive session, and then you go away and you wonder whether anyone follows afterwards. We do track what happens on the virtual machines. We can see whether there's continuing activity. Some of the people here today have said, well, we want to continue doing this kind of thing. How long will you keep the virtual machine? We say, well, if there's no activity, we'll probably stop it after a month. If there's activity, you can keep using it. So I guess we will be able to look at that kind of thing. But I guess in the long term, in another year or two, when people have used CLIMB in their research and their publications, they may well acknowledge us in their publications, and we can see that we've added value. We do ask people to do that if they've used CLIMB. And so what I'd hope is that in another year or two, there might be some publications coming out of here where people have said this work was done using CLIMB.
Okay. My last question is that, which is always pushed, can you personally, you're doing quite a lot to do more? I mean, more for the unit, more for CLIMB? How do you see it?
Well, there is this question of whether we should make this a regular fixture. This is the second year we've done it. And yeah, we could come back next year. We're happy to collaborate with people here and now you know the people that run the sequencer in our place. You can talk to them. You've discovered your Twitter account, so you can start following Nick Lohman and Josh Quick, and you'll be able to learn a bit more from them.
Okay.
And as Climb, for us now with Climb, it's actually become a worthwhile project for me. There was a lot of struggle in the early year, first year, 2 years, actually getting things going, and I did at certain times think, oh, why did we bother with this? But we're now firing on all cylinders. We've got 200 users or more, and we need to keep the momentum going for the next year or two. But we also are putting in place succession plans, how we're going to actually continue to take this use of cloud computing and this initiative forward into the future, and succession planning of younger people who are actually have lots more hands-on experience, can actually drive this forward. So people like Nick Lohman and Tom Connor are going to be, that already are actually putting in applications that will build on Climb and add to Climb.
Thank you very, very, very much. That was